call our meeting to order. It is October 27th. Welcome to the Farmington Hills City Council meeting of October 27th, 2025. We begin meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance, and this evening we have the honor of being joined by our two newest Eagle Scouts. So if Lawrence Baker and Graham Kosiba could please come up and join us at the podium and lead us in the pledge, and then maybe they'll tell us a couple minutes about their projects. No, up here. There you go.
Please take all non-religious headgear off. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen, and perhaps you can tell us about your projects and introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name is Graham Kosiba, and my Eagle Scout project was I built like a piece of playground equipment for my middle school. It's called like Gaga Ball. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's like a Israeli end game.
Hello, I'm Lawrence. I kind of rebuilt my church's basement, like library area, to make it better at the Providence Lithuanian Church. Yeah, looking better now. Excellent.
Thank you, and thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. And you will be seeing Mr. Baker's father's name in the appointments to boards and commissions this evening.
Good.
All righty. Thank you, gentlemen. Approval of the regular session agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there support?
Support.
We have motion and support. This,
Madam Mayor,
yes,
can we do roll call?
we could certainly do a roll call. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmembers Aldred.
Here.
Bolaware.
Here.
Bridges.
Here.
Bruce.
Here.
Dwyer.
Here.
Knoll. Here. Marich.
Here.
Thank you.
We have two proclamations this evening. The first is one recognizing October 28th, 2025 as National First Responders Day, and it will be read by our resident first.
Did we actually, though, we did the roll call, but do we actually have to still vote on the agenda?
Oh, I beg your pardon.
I don't think we voted yet.
I got ahead of myself. All right, so we did roll call, and then we had a motion and support of the agenda, and this is a regular vote. All those in favor indicate by please saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Okay, we now have an agenda approved. And on to our proclamation, which will be read by our Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Proclamation National First Responders Day, October 28, 2025. Whereas first responders, including dispatchers, firefighters, paramedics, police officers, public work professionals, and other emergency personnel, stand on the front line selfishly, serving and protecting the Farmington Hills community in time of crisis. And whereas first responders respond swiftly and courageously to emergencies, often putting their own lives at risk to ensure the safety and well-being of others, whether in the natural disaster, accidents, medical emergencies, or threats to public health and safety. And whereas first responders answer the call to duty when it arises without hesitation and tirelessly give their time and energy in humanitarian efforts by making themselves available every hour of the day, every day of the year. And whereas it is in the public's interest for community members and civic leaders in Farmington Hills to learn about and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public safety and public works. And whereas the year 2025 marks the 7th annual National First Responders Day, sponsored by bipartisan resolutions in the U.S. Senate and House. Now therefore, I, Teresa Rich, Mayor of the City of Farmington Hills, on behalf of the entire City Council, do hereby proclaim October 28, 2025 as National First Responders Day. I urge all community members to join activities, events, and ceremonies paying tribute to first responders to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our health, safety, and advancing the quality of our life. And we have our two chiefs here. We have Chief John Unruh from the Fire Department and Chief John Pickett from the Police Department accepting
And Jacob Rushlow from DPW.
Oh, and
Jacob Rushlow,
and Jacob Bristol. Oh, they're there.
Public Services Department.
Public Services,
Okay,
yep.
gentlemen.
Yep, can we do a photo?
I can stand it back.
You're good. Oh.
One more. One more like we mean it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, everyone, for your service.
Behind the scenes guy.
And next, we have a proclamation recognizing November 1, 2025 as Extra Mile Day, and it will be read by Councilmember Aldred.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Proclamation Extra Mile Day, whereas the City of Farmington Hills acknowledges that a special vibrancy exists within the entire community when its individual citizens collectively go the extra mile in personal effort, volunteerism, and service. And whereas the City of Farmington Hills encourages its community members to maximize their personal contributions to society by giving themselves wholeheartedly and with total effort, commitment, and conviction to their individual ambitions, family, friends, and community. And whereas the City of Farmington Hills chooses to shine a light on and celebrate individuals and organizations who go the extra mile to make a difference and lift up fellow members of their community. And whereas the City of Farmington Hills acknowledges the mission of Extra Mile America to create more than 550 extra mile cities in our country, and is proud to support Extra Mile Day on November 1st, 2025. Now, therefore, Teresa Rich, Mayor of the City of Farmington Hills, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim November 1st, 2025 to be Extra Mile Day, and urge all members of the community to not only go the extra mile in their own lives, but also to acknowledge individuals who are inspirational in their efforts and commitment to make their organizations, families, community, country, and world a better place. I don't believe that we have anyone to pick this up today. I did actually go on their website and take a look at the work they do, and it's certainly, they're doing good things to encourage work in the communities, so thank you.
Great, if we'll just pass that down to the clerk and it will be filed. Thank you. And now we have any announcements, presentations from city boards, commissions, and public officials. And I see Mr. Sweeney is here from the Emergency Preparedness Commission. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of council, city staff. I'm Mike Sweeney. I'm one of 11 of your volunteers in service to the community. So on behalf of the commission and the other commissions, I say thank you for the proclamation. But what we're here to talk about tonight is the tip of the month. In the council meeting earlier, you talked about the Heart Smart system, and we fully support that to get as many of our citizens who can do CPR, know where the AEDs are, become part of that first 10 minutes of the chain of life. Good Samaritan laws will protect you from what might happen as far as lawsuits, but just the sleepability of being able to help your fellow citizens who's having the worst day of their life in that moment, 100% supporting that. At the citywide open house, we distributed 400 copies of the new MI Prevent Family Preparedness Guide. We're very happy to see that it is a reprint of something we printed 15 years ago. Now this, I have a little pride of ownership of this, but this is hopelessly obsolete. It talks about peoples and places that are not there anymore. So we are very much out pushing for the Michigan State Police Emergency Management Guide. It's a beautiful three-part color folder, covers the same topics, only with the current websites and the current people and the current strategies for helping your citizens. This being one of the most beautiful fall days we've had so far, I thought what we'd do is we'd step into getting ready for the winter travel coming. I put a copy of this on each of your booklets there, and if you go to page 28, you will find that there's 2 lists. One is the automotive emergency preparedness kit, because when you're out driving around in your car, all summer long, we've been scooting around in our cars, and they've been accumulating stuff, and the tires have been getting worn down, and the tire pressure has changed, and the oil's getting used. We'd like you to take your car in and have it serviced. Rotate the tires. Check the tires to make sure the tread is right. If it's not, it's time to buy some winter tires. It's a fabulous investment in the safety of your family. Make sure the tire pressure is correct, and then fill your car with, take all your summer gear out. You don't need the suntan lotion. You don't need the sun umbrellas. You may want to keep that blanket. You might want to replace the food and the water and the other things you keep in your car. Get your car ready for when you get stuck in that ditch. And I'm sorry, in Michigan, we get stuck in ditches. I remember driving cars that had the studded snow tires in them, and we would still manage to get them stuck somewhere. So for when that's going to happen, there's a list in the pamphlet of the materials you should have in your car to take care of you and whoever else is in your car, so you can get through what's going to probably be the longest night of your life. And it talks about bright colored clothes and candles for light and heat and food and water and blankets and shoes and socks, all these things that you want to have. And if you have your pet with you, the second list is all the things you should have in your car for your pets. We've heard about tragedies where Hurricane Harvey came into Houston and people bailed out and they left behind all their livestock, their family pets. And that's a tragedy for a conversation for another time. But if you're leaving because you think it's unsafe to be there, my recommendation is you grab your dog, you grab your cat, and they go with you. And here is a list of the items that you should have to take your cats with you. Now, again, we passed out 400 copies of this, and through our emergency manager, we've gotten ourselves another 400 copies. So for the next couple of displays, we will be presenting this printed list to everyone who wants to have one. Now, not everyone wants to have a printed copy. We also have a GR code that we put out there, but at the open house, we found people took our paper products, they didn't want to scan the GR codes. Some of the other things like the Founders Festival, they didn't want our paper products. They scanned the GR code like it was crazy. It's a different audience. It's the same information, but we're prepared. Whatever audience comes to us, whichever audience we go to, we're ready to present for you the materials, and then you need to take it, internalize it, and do it. Again, I'm Mike Sweeney. I'm one of your preparedness commissioners, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sweeney. That then takes us to correspondence. Anyone on council have correspondence they want to share? Mr. Aldred.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There was an email, I think council may have got it today, from Joanne Zekar. I just wanted to make a comment on the first part of that email, which was talking about how difficult it can be to keep track of developments in this city. If you're if you're like even if you're an engaged resident, it can be hard to know what's happening to the development down the road or what's the latest state of the planning process to see when the next public meeting might be. I think those are all good comments and something that I've been having some discussions with the city manager's office, and there has already been, I think, a good step forward on the city website, fhgov.com. There is a development projects interactive map, so you can see what are all the development plans that are in process at various stages. You can click on them. And I'm not sure necessarily residents know that, but I think there's another step we need to go such that you get up-to-date information there to see what is the next public meeting, you know, where can I find minutes, et cetera, et cetera. Again, I think that's all something that is valid concern to help support our residents stay communicated, and I think that's something we should be looking at to see how we can help support that communication. So just to reinforce that that concern from the correspondence I got today.
Okay. Anyone else? All righty.
Mayor, I had
Yes.
I got a letter from email from a resident in regards to opportunity for grant application for deer management,
Okay.
and I passed that on to the city manager for consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That then takes us to the consent agenda. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine, administrative, or non-controversial by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a City Council member or citizen so requests, in which event the items may be removed from the consent agenda for consideration. They will be read by our Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Dwyer.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Item number 13, recommended approval of the tentative agreement with the Michigan Fraternal Order of Police Labor Council, CMR 10-25-155. Number 14, recommended approval of an agreement to participate in the My Career Quest Southeastern event to be held on November 18th, 2025, CMR 10-25-156. Number 15, acknowledgement of the fourth and first quarter financial summary report and quarterly investment report, CMR 10-25-157. Item 16, recommend approval of the City Council meeting study session minutes of October 13th, 2025. And the last is number 17, recommend approval of City Council regular session minutes of October 13th, 2025. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Madam Mayor, I move that council will approve the consent agenda as read by our Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Dwyer.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there support?
Support.
We have made motion and support. This is a roll call vote.
Council members Bolaware,
Yes.
Bridges,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
Dwyer,
Yes.
Knoll. Yes. Aldred.
Yes.
And Mayor Rich.
Yes.
Thank you.
This then takes us to council member comments and announcements. Anyone have something they'd like to say this evening? Okay, Dr. Bruce.
Thank you. Just a statement I want to make real quick. Just recently, the U.S. Department of Agriculture reported that Michiganders who receive federal food aid under the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, or SNAP, will not get their November benefits as the ongoing federal shutdown continues. In Michigan, 59% are families with children and 39% are families with members who are older adults or disabled. More than 46% are in working families. In total, 15% of the state population here in Michigan, or 1 in 7, depend on benefits to keep food on the table. This also affects many of our children and families in Farmington Hills. We do have a local resource that can help our families here in Farmington Hills. One such center that I've worked with is CARES of Farmington Hills. CARES, which stands for Community Action Resources Empowerment Services, is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. The original concept of CARES was to continue the food pantry that had been started by St. Alexander's. The idea was to bring together most, if not all, the social safety net organizations on one campus to meet community needs. The campus has WIC, AA, Rebuilding Together, Veterans of Oakland County, a navigator to direct folks to services, and more. Families with food insecurity often have other challenges, and a one-stop place to help address many of these challenges is a benefit. The pantry and associated SNAP food store remain the main mission of the 501c3. CARES serves more than 830 families and more than 1,500 people a month with their food needs. With inflation, this is getting more challenging, but CARES stands ready to meet the mission. Of the 830 families served, 305 families are from Farmington Hills and 50 more from Farmington. While CARES tries to be as efficient as possible, the cost is about $25 per week per family. Their cost for the Farmington Hills families amounts to $22,000 per quarter. Translated into yearly costs, CARES cost is about $248 per family per year. This number is increasing, and CARES plans for and is ready to meet the events that strain the system, such as with COVID. Looking at the federal shutdown and temporary or permanent SNAP reductions, another challenge seems to be looming. The $15,000 annual donation to CARES for Farmington Hills comes out of our CDBG funds. Farmington provides no funding as their CDBG funds run through the county and city of Farmington Hills. During COVID, additional funds from the feds through Farmington Hills did assist in the surge, but those were a limited event. The current support level of $15,000 per year amounts to $42 per family per year. CARES serves part of the surrounding communities as well. As an example, they have 130 families from Livonia. Comparatively, Livonia allocates support for their families with a donation of $25,000 a year, or $192 per family per year. Southfield contributes about the same. Given the current political situation, I believe this council should consider additional contributions in planning for current and future challenges. I would ask Council to place this issue on a study session in the very near future, as time is of the essence, to consider amending our current budget for increased fundings to CARES, which will address hunger in our city. This will help ensure that no child in our city goes to bed or school hungry, and no family is unable to meet their basic food needs. CARES is willing to host an open discussion with this council and any other interested local group on any evening after 4 p.m. CARES also has the capacity to live stream such a meeting session. And those are my comments.
Let me just add those comments. I think the comments by Councilmember Bruce are clearly necessary, and what we need to consider is to a $15,000 allotment that we currently do through CDBG is clearly can be increased. As I understand, it's 1 out of 8 people in this country are food insecure. 1 out of 8 people in this country depend on food banks or are unable to meet their needs without SNAP. So I would definitely be in support of increasing that budget by at least $5,000 to $10,000, at least to get to the level where Livonia is at, in order to meet the need that our citizens may have. I think it's the right thing to do. CARES is a wonderful organization that helps to, in many ways, our community and surrounding communities to be more food secure. So I would definitely look forward to that study session, Mr. Bruce, and look forward to discussions on that regarding adding to that budget in regards to what we allot to CARES annually. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, then I have one. As we've clearly already identified, hunger is an issue in our community. And in Farmington schools, by the way, it's about 25% of the students in Farmington schools qualify for free breakfast or lunch. Now, thanks to the state, they are getting breakfast and lunch in the schools, but what about the rest of the time? And so CARES definitely is a help in filling the gap, but is not the only player. And so, like other mayors and electeds from all over the country, as we are looking at SNAP going away November 1st, as we are seeing dry paydays for federal employees, I've decided I'm going to convene a meeting, and this is going to be tomorrow from 2 to 4 at the Cultural Hall of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. For those interested, it's located at 33900 West 13 Mile Road. And what's being convened is a brainstorming session on feeding Farmington Hills. Specifically informed of this session, of course, or council members were advised that a session's going to happen. Now you have the changed location. It's now going to be at the church. Also invited are members of the nonprofit, including CARES, interfaith, government, and education communities. All are welcome. Now, I want to make one thing very, very clear. This is going to be a working session. We're coming together to brainstorm to address this impending crisis. And so all people, all ideas are very much welcome. What is not welcome will be any finger pointing or blaming about how did we get to this point. What's not welcome is party politics. This is not about elections, it's about feeding our people in Farmington Hills. So for those who would like to participate, welcome you to join us. Again, it's tomorrow, 2 to 4, 33900 West 13 Mile at the Cultural Hall of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which also has a food pantry. And for those who might not be able to participate, if they do want to share their thoughts, please do feel free to send them to me at trich@fhgov.com.
Mayor, I have something to add.
Okay?
Mayor, I understand that you've been criticized for having this meeting tomorrow, and quite frankly, I don't understand why anyone would be critical of Mayor Rich, who's being proactive to have a meeting with the community to help. find solutions to the crisis that we are facing. SNAP benefits start this Saturday, November 1st, which eliminates federal assistance, as most of us know, for 40 million Americans who rely on SNAP, which is the Supplement Nutrition Assistance Program. Mayors across this nation are concerned, and they should be concerned, and we're concerned. And the mayor is doing exactly what they are doing. She's out there. She and other mayors have a responsibility, elected officials, to meet and try to find solutions. And that's exactly what Mayor Rich is trying to do. This, in my opinion, would not be an issue. I don't think it would be an issue if there was not an election coming up on November 3rd. Fourth, we should also be supporting the mayor, other elected officials in addressing this crisis instead of being negative. So I just, it just kind of tears me apart that we always get involved with politics the way we do on something so critical to this city, to this country. And you have people like Mayor Rich trying to do something immediately before Saturday, getting a group together to brainstorm, try to come up with some solutions. Because as I mentioned, 40 million Americans are going to lose these benefits. They're going to have to make a decision. Can I buy food? They're not going to be able to make payments on their mortgage. It's going to be just endless problems, critical problems to this country. And I would hope that whoever starts the rumors about how bad this program is that the mayor's having, inviting the community to brainstorm, I would hope that they would kind of rethink their thoughts on this issue and support Mayor Rich. Thank you.
Thank you. That then leads us to the city manager update.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And along those same lines, the only thing that I have to add to that is that from the administration side, later on this week, we will be improving upon the information that we already have on the website for all the food pantries for those folks that may be in need or have food security issues. So we'll be improving the website, ease of use for that, as well as pushing information out on the city's social media outlets. So, you know, it's an unfortunate situation, but we certainly want our residents to know where to go if they need support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Rich?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you to the city manager. I think that's something that's sorely needed so that our residents can have an idea of some of the faith-based and other groups that have availability for food, especially if SNAP benefits are officially, come November 1st, no longer available. And I would encourage every resident who lives in Farmington Hills that to step up our donation and donate to our favorite pantries, because I think it's going to be sorely needed. And so I know that Farmington Hills residents are very caring, and I expect that as we move forward, many of us will be donating not only food, but also monetary gifts that are so sorely needed at the various pantries and food banks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item 4 is a public hearing. Public hearing in consideration of amendment to planned unit development for Cutting Edge Cuisine Kitchen and Storage Edition, CMR 10-25-150. Good evening, Ms. Kettler-Schmoll.
Good evening, Charmaine Kettler-Schmoll to present the item to you. I'm just trying to find my slide. It moved around on me. One sec. All right, I found it. So we have before you this evening the public hearing regarding the amendment to the PUD for 2000. This is a piece of the shopping center at Northwestern Highway. This is between Orchard Lake Road and Middle Belt. The request is to have an addition to the building to expand a catering kitchen at that location, and then also to update the landscaping feature, which is located along Northwestern Highway from a fountain to a native and natural landscaped request. We've got some things that were included in your package. This was before the Planning Commission at a preliminary hearing on August 21st, and then at a public hearing before them on September 18th. They did recommend to City Council with certain conditions the approval of the plans. We did want to bring to your attention this evening that even though we have published and there is a public hearing scheduled for this item tonight, the applicant has requested postponement in order to deal with some issues that have arisen during this timeframe. We have Giffords Webster here to go through the detailed evaluation of the site and the submission. And if that's what you would like to do, we can have that for you. And it's at the council's discretion how you would like to proceed.
So one moment, please. So, Mr. City Attorney, I assume because we agenda'd it and it was publicly noticed, we need to hold the hearing this evening. Is that
Yes.
correct?
You will need to hold a public hearing, gavel it open, see if anybody wants to comment, and then gavel it closed, yes.
Okay, so then, and then at a later date, we would not have a second public hearing, is that correct?
That is correct. You would be satisfying the statutory and ordinance requirement tonight.
So if it please council, I think we should have the presentation, and, yes.
I have a question about that. We then going to have to have if, say they come back at our next meeting, are we then going to have to go through the exact same presentation again? Because that seems a bit redundant, especially because the proponent, I don't know if the proponent's here. Who are we going to ask questions of if the proponent isn't here?
I did not note the proponent in the audience. So,
Right.
Unless they've sent a representative.
What's the point of a presentation if we're just going to have it again at our next meeting? And if we have questions, we don't have a proponent to ask the questions of. I mean, I'd rather not have to go through it twice and then not be able to ask questions.
All right. Okay,
It'd be in your discretion. I know that Ms. Kettler-Schmaltz has already given a abbreviated presentation so far of the general outline of this. I also know council's familiar with this development. It's been around for a long time. So I think that's perfectly reasonable.
then, if, yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Attorney, you mentioned that, so the public hearing takes place tonight, so it will be in lieu of the one future public hearing. You're saying that, right? The one, public hearing takes place tonight, required, and that will take the place of a public hearing when it comes up to discussion next time around, right? With no public hearing.
There will not be a public hearing at the next meeting. You will have satisfied the legal requirement for the public hearing tonight, and you won't have to redo it.
Okay, that's kind of,
Although, it doesn't mean that we can't take public comment.
Exactly, we would, if we
Can always
had,
take public
right, if we had public who wanted to speak at that meeting, then similar to any agenda item that we would bring forward, if a member of the public wanted to speak, they would fill out a blue card, they say, I want to speak to this particular PUD, and then we would allow them their 3 minutes to speak prior to our deliberating.
And just so I can clarify about tonight, as the mayor mentioned, public notices went out to everybody within 300 feet of this property and the owners of the property itself. So they have notice, and they may be here tonight. And so due process requires city council to proceed with the public hearing tonight. In case they showed up, this is when it was noticed to all of them to be here. If they have something to say about the development, tonight was the night. So just to clarify that.
thank you.
Yes.
One other
Yes,
comment.
please.
So I actually do have questions about the landscaping, but like I said, because there's no one here to answer them, that's part of the reason why I would recommend that we do it when we actually have a proponent here.
Okay.
I would second that. I would support that.
Well, okay, so what we're going to do then, if it please council, is I will open the public hearing, see if anyone wants to speak, and have them speak, and then close the public hearing, and then we as a council can decide, do we want to approve, do we want to deny, or do we want to postpone to a date certain? Okay, so with that, I am opening the public hearing. Do we have any cards? Is there anyone who would like to speak on this topic? Okay, I am forthwith closing the public hearing. Okay, is there a motion? Council, Mr. Eldred.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I move that we move to the motion to,
Postpone.
the application to amend the PUD Plan for 2000, dated revised October 14, 2025, be postponed to a date certain for us to determine, as requested by the proponent.
Okay, do we need to
there's
say, we need a date.
Date, yes. Yeah.
So, City Clerk, could you help advise us, and maybe Mr. City Attorney, if you have suggestions to a date?
I mean, your next meeting date, we have November 10th and the 24th, and then you have one meeting in December, that would be the 8th.
Did the proponent have a request for when?
He did not have a request for when. He did say with his attorney that they intended to communicate with the other property owner in the PUD to discuss the issues, which is the basis for his request for postponement. I had heard that they indicated those would take place right away. So 30 days, if that seems reasonable amount of time. If it needs further, he can always request a further postponement since you've taken care of the public hearing this evening.
Again, postponement.
So our second meeting in November?
Clarification.
Yes.
If we decide to do it the next council session and they can't make it, can they postpone it to a future date
Again.
again?
Yes, they can request it. Of course, it's up to council whether you approve the additional postponement, but
Okay.
yes.
All
they
right.
could.
Next meeting date is,
November 10th.
so, I move to amend my motion to say November 10th for the date.
Okay, and we have support? Okay, and this is a regular vote. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Carries. We now move on to unfinished business. The first is consideration of approval of the enactment of Ordinance C-7, 2025, amending the Farmington Hills Code of Ordinances, Chapter 34 zoning, Article 2.0 definitions, in order to add new definitions, and Article 5.0 site standards, in order to add a new Section 34-5.20 public art requirement relating to the inclusion of art with certain new development approvals. And this is zoning text amendment 1, 2025, and then summary for publication. So this is our second reading. Good evening again.
Good evening. Charmaine Kettler-Schmaltz for the item. This was presented to you at your last city council meeting. This is the second reading of this ordinance. It is to add the requirement for public art, and we do have the companion piece, which will be following as the next item in order to have the responsibility for review of that. I can answer any questions if you have any. I know we've been over this a few times, and it was reviewed at the last meeting.
Okay. Council, what's your pleasure?
The motion, Madam Mayor.
Please.
Move that the approval of the enactment of Ordinance C-7, 2025, amending the Farmington Hills Code of Ordinances, Chapter 34 zoning, Article 2.0 definitions, in order to add new definitions and add Article 5.0 site standards, in order to add a new Section 34-5.20 public art requirement relating to the inclusion of art and certain new development approvals, zoning text amendment 1, 2025, and summary for publication.
Support.
Thank you. We have a motion and support. This is a roll call vote.
Council members Bridges,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
Dwyer,
Yes.
Noel,
Yes.
Aldred,
Yes.
Bolaware,
Yes.
Marich.
Yes. This then takes us to item 6, consideration of approval of the enactment of Ordinance C-8-2025, amending the City of Farmington Hills Code of Ordinances, Chapter 2, Administration, Article 4, Boards, Commissions, and Councils, Division 8, Farmington Area Arts Commission, in order to amend Section 2-222, Purposes, Authority, and Duties. This is City Code Amendment 3, 2025, and then summary for publication.
Good evening.
Hello again.
This is the companion piece to the previous text amendment, which adds the language for the review and approval of said public art into the city code. This is the second reading, and it was reviewed at the previous council. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to attempt.
Okay, council, Ms. Bolaware?
Yes. I'd like to make it,
Move the enactment.
approve the enactment of the ordinance C-9, 2025, amending the Farmington Hills Code of Ordinances, Chapter 34, zoning, Article 2, definitions, Section 33-2, definitions to amend the definition of restaurant, drive-in. You know what?
Not the one.
I'm
Item
reading the
6.
wrong place.
Read it. No, point to the ones.
Yes, I'd like to make it, to approve the enactment of ordinance C-8-2025, amending the City of Farmington Hills Code of Ordinances, Chapter 2, Administration, Article 4, Boards, Commissions, and Councils, Division 8, Farmington Area Arts Commission, in order to amend Section 2-222, Purposes, Authority, and Duties, City Code Amendment 3-2025, and summary for publication.
We have motion, is there support?
Support.
We have motion and support. This is a roll call vote.
Before we do the roll call, I am so excited. You know, this has been a long time coming, and I'm just excited that we're at this point right now. So thanks to all council. Yes. All right. I'm done.
Council members Bruce,
Yes.
Dwyer,
Yes.
Noel,
Yes.
Aldred,
Yes.
Bolaware,
Yes.
Bridges,
Yes.
and Mayor Rich.
Yay, yes. This has been a long time coming. Thank you, everyone. Item 7, consideration and approval of the enactment of ordinance C-9, 2025, amending the Farmington Hills Code of Ordinances, Chapter 34 zoning, Article 2 definitions, Section 34-2.2 definitions to amend the definition of restaurant drive-in and add the definition of commercial outdoor recreation space, and Article 3 zoning districts, Section 34-3.1.24, B2 Community Business District, to delete reference to automobile service center and replace with automobile repair. Zoning Text Amendment 4, 2024, and summary for publication.
I'll try again, the right one.
All righty.
This is a motion to approve the enactment of ordinance C-9-2025, amending the Farmington Hills Code of Ordinances, Chapter 34, zoning, Article 2, definitions, Section 34-2, definitions to amend the definition of restaurant, drive-in, and add the definition of commercial outdoor recreation space. And Article 3, zoning districts, Section 34-3.1.24, B2 Community Business District, to delete reference to automobile service center and replace with automobile repair, zoning text amendment 4, 2024, and summary for publication.
Support.
Okay, we have motion and support. This is a roll call vote.
Council members Dwyer,
Yes.
Noel,
Yes.
Aldred,
Yes.
Bolaware,
Yes.
Bridges,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
and Mayor Rich.
Yes. This then takes us to item 8, new business. Consideration of approval of the adoption of the 2025 through 2030 City of Farmington Hills Strategic Plan, CMR 10-25-151. Well, there you are, Ms. Mondora.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Yes, we are excited this evening to present to you the 5-year strategic plan for adoption. As you'll recall, we authorized a consultant services contract with Raftalis Financial Consultants to assist us with this endeavor. And with us this evening is Emily Uselton from Raftalis, and she will walk us through that, the highlights of that document and how we got to where we are this evening. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of council. It's good to be with you again. So tonight, we're really excited. We just want to share with you the final strategic plan framework that we're going to ask for you to adopt at the end of the presentation so that we can begin the good work of implementation in earnest, supporting the staff as they move towards implementing all of the visionary and strategic goal areas in the plan. Quick recap of the journey that led us to this evening. We began in the spring, interviewing each of you as well as leadership within the city. We coupled that with really an environmental scan or just understanding the community and organizational context of demographic, economic indicators to really help us immerse ourselves in what is unique to the city of Farmington Hills. We then held 4 community focus groups in June with some of your education partners, your interfaith community, small businesses, those who are integral to the success of the community. We had a public drop-in session and also met with some of your boards and commission members. And then we also engaged all staff through a survey in June as well, focused primarily on the organizational mission and values, but really also the strengths and opportunities that they see for the city and for the community. That all culminated in the hard work of staff initially in July, putting pen to paper and drafting an initial framework for you all to work with. And then we met with you, as you recall, in August to really refine that framework and make sure it reflects kind of the engagement themes and all that we had learned from the community as part of the process. And then just a couple weeks ago, we shared with you some of the fine-tuning and revisions that took place between August and now, and tonight, we hope that you will provide your blessing as we move forward into implementation. Just to recap kind of the key framework elements that you'll be voting on: the vision, mission, values, and goal areas. The vision really is your North Star. It's your goalpost, it's aspirational, it's what the community is striving to be over the next 5 to 10 years. And then those goal areas are the big buckets of things that need to go well if you're going to realize that vision. And complementary to that are the mission and values of the organization, what drives employees to come to work every day, their dedication to being public servants, and when do they see their coworkers at the best? What are those behaviors and values that they want to exhibit as a team for Farmington Hills? What was really great about the engagement process, as we saw it, is the consistency in the themes that emerged across every stakeholder group that we spoke with. There are certainly strengths that you all want to preserve and you view as foundational. Ironically, first responders evening, safety is one of those strengths. And I think the community also recognized that the city's at an inflection point. There's a great opportunity for redevelopment, for kind of community building, placemaking. Destination was a common word that came through the process. And so you all owned really setting a bold vision for how to move forward. So this is the final framework that we're asking you to vote on. I think you received a copy in your packet, so I won't go through each of the pieces, but we will talk about some of the kind of fine-tuning that led us to this evening. First, and arguably maybe most important, was the vision statement. This took some iteration. We went through multiple revisions and I think landed in a really good place with a vision statement that both honors and preserves kind of the key community values that you all want to maintain while really striving towards where you want to go in the future. We also identified 5 goal areas that support the vision, and you can see them here: uphold community safety and well-being, champion strategic redevelopment, cultivate placemaking and community hubs, foster a welcoming community, and achieve organizational excellence. These are all integral to realizing the vision. I think hopefully those that participated in this engagement process can see their feedback and thoughts kind of immersed in each of these goal areas. For the mission statement, I think we landed at a place where it was succinct, and that's good. This is a nice, concise mission statement for the organization to deliver best-in-class services that sustain a high quality of life in Farmington Hills. That's a great foundation for your new employees and your existing employees. Really sets the tone for the culture for the organization. Here are the values that were also determined from the survey and through the workshops. And I think one of the good things that we did was put some definition around each of these values to help the organization understand what they look like in practice and to kind of integrate that into the performance expectations and the overall culture of the organization. So in terms of next steps, we will ask for the motion to adopt this evening, and then the work begins in earnest. It's timed well, so I think having recently completed your master plan just ahead of the strategic plan, coupled nicely the community feedback from that effort into what your goal areas are, and now looking ahead as you think about budget development in the beginning of 2026, you really have a great roadmap to set policy decision-making and in your priorities into the future.
Okay, thank you. Council, what's your pleasure? We spent a lot of time at our last study session. Mr. Bridges.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you for working with the city and the council and the different stakeholders. I think the plan that you presented today in regards to what the city's future, I'm excited about it, very excited. I think we have a good framework plan as to what we want Farmington Hills to look like going forward, and how we can maximize our city's assets. And I just think that I've been on council for 17 years, and I really think this plan is a clear plan regarding our future that we can implement, and that it's forward-looking and it's achievable. And of course, it's going to require hard work from council and all the stakeholders, but I'm confident that this is a great plan that we can implement, and it would clearly result in Farmington Hills being even a greater city that we currently have today. So I'm excited about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Aldred.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the presentation. Obviously, as the mayor said, there's been a lot of work on this, and I think it's worth pointing out there's two aspects to this. There's that vision statement, which is really aspirationally for the city. Who do we want? Who do we want to be? And then there's the organizational part, which helps drive the important work of the city and employees, knowing what we're about, what the values are. And I think those two things are really important to clarify. And I actually just want to say that I think the vision statement, if you'd allow me to reread it again, I think it's worth restating. There's a lot of work that went into this and some iterations along the way. And so to say that Farmington Hills strives to be a vibrant destination, and I just wanted to comment there and just say, so it's a place where people choose to come. People choose to come to live, work, play. And so Farmington Hills strives to be a vibrant destination, preserving a welcoming and safe community where innovation, culture, and green spaces inspire people and businesses to flourish. I think that's a really good place we ended there. So I just wanted to reiterate all the work there by underlining that. So thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Is there a motion? Oh,
I just
yes.
have one comment. First of all, I want to say, Emily, thank you very much. Your team did a fantastic job. As Emily said, this really is the guiding light of our organization. And as we start to go through implementation, we'll be working very closely with our comms group. You'll start to see things maybe on letterhead and communications, certainly here within City Hall, likely within each individual department, mission, vision, and goals. This was something that was, I felt was very important for our administration. We hadn't really touched on something like this in probably 15 years. So this is really a great piece of work by all involved, and I really want to thank City Council for your participation in this as well. I think folks should know you spent 8 hours locked in a room with department heads going over this whole thing, and it was a lot of work, but I think in the end we got a really good product. So thank you.
Well, the last time we did this was 2011, and Jerry Ellis was the mayor. So it's good that we are doing this so that there's a North Star for the city going forward. Is there a motion? Yes, Ms. Knoll.
Sure, happy to make the motion. I'll move to adopt the 2025 to 2030 City of Farmington Hills Strategic Plan.
Okay, we have a motion and support. This is a regular vote. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Okay, carries. Number 9, consideration of adoption of resolution authorizing public entity membership in the West Michigan Health Insurance Pool.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. Good evening. So I'm going to tell you a short story here. And I've been up in the city manager's office for almost 10 years now. about 5 as assistant city manager, and now almost 5 as city manager. And perennially, every year, whether I was assistant city manager or city manager, we have the very unpleasant exercise of going through what our health insurance costs are going to be for our employees, active employees, and our retirees. And every year, because it's such a volatile situation, you know, costs shift around. We have 4 or 5 different offerings for our active employees. And we kind of got this shell game going where, you know, the HMO gets cheaper, so all the people move over into the HMO, and then we have a higher what's called experience rate, and so that rate goes through the roof, and so employees move to this other insurance base, so back and forth. And so earlier this year, I asked our administrative staff, I said, there's got to be a better way. There just has to be a better way. And by the way, just real quick, introductions, you all know Lori Brown, our Human Resources Director. And to my left here, this is Chris Glass with Gallagher Benefits Consulting. And we'll get into that in a minute. So earlier this year, I had asked our administrative staff to really take a look at other insurance options for our active employees and retirees because of this back and forth. And, you know, by the way, as city manager, my biggest goal is, well, I want our employees to be happy. I think you do too. We want fair benefits for our employees for what they do. And I think what ends up happening is while we approve salary increases in the budget every year, a lot of those increases we're ending up getting eaten up by the insurance costs, the health insurance costs. So again, had asked administrative staff to review this, and through a lot of research, we connected with the Western Michigan Insurance Pool, Health Insurance Pool. Now, you all have this information in your CMRs, but I wanted the public to know this as well. So the Western Michigan Health Insurance Pool serves approximately 17,000 public sector employees from over 170 different organizations. Those include cities, counties, school districts, and community colleges, one of which is Oakland Community College. Membership in that insurance pool will help alleviate this issue that we have. It'll also improve the coverage that we have. Right now, we have a couple of PPOs that are very expensive on a monthly basis. We have an HMO, and then we have a high deductible, okay? And so that's what we have. And so by moving to the pool, they're all PPOs. And guess what? The numbers are affordable. And so we can essentially achieve much better insurance coverage for our active employees and our retirees at a much lower cost to the taxpayers of the city. Win-win. It's an awesome thing to be able to do. So the reason why Chris is here is because Chris and his team manage the Western Michigan Health Insurance Pool through Gallagher Benefits Consulting. They have a contract to do that. And by the way, the current consultant that we use, Assured Partners, was acquired by Gallagher earlier this year. So it seemed to be a good time to make that move altogether. The city attorney, Steve's office, they reviewed all of the documentation as it relates to this issue. And so this evening, I'm requesting the city council adopt the resolution for a couple of things: authorizing membership into the Western Michigan Health Insurance Pool for a minimum of 3 years, to authorize the city manager to execute all necessary documents, and this would include appointing the city manager and the assistant city manager as trustee and as alternate trustee to the pool's board of directors. I really want to say thank you to Lori, Finance Director Tom Scribola, and our Assistant City Manager, I almost said it, Assistant Director, Assistant City Manager, there's an error in your CMR, that's why I'm laughing, Assistant City Manager Karen Mondora. This was a really heavy lift, evaluating where we were with our current consultant versus where we could potentially be if we moved or became a part of the pool. And so with that, I'm going to just leave it there with council, and if you have any questions, Mr. Glass and myself and Lori will try to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Yes. Mr. Dwyer?
I'm sure you've consulted with the POA and the COA and the other unions within the city regarding this change.
That's on the docket.
On the docket?
It's on the docket. Gallagher's has resources to bring to bear to do that. We don't see any reason why there would be any pushback. We're
So-
reducing costs and increasing benefits.
So if this is approved tonight, the COA, the POA, and the other unions can push back all they want, but it's a done deal. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Null?
Yeah, so you talked about the PPOs, but for example, high deductible plans are actually, they're beneficial to some people. Young people, healthy people may like those. Will those still be available?
Yes, they will. I think it's important to note from the pool's perspective, right? It really is a community. I mean, now it will be, you heard the numbers that were referenced about members, but it is member-driven, member-owned. And because of the size and scale of this collaboration, it affords us the opportunity, right? Economies of scale to lower costs, negotiate lower rates, using Blue Cross Blue Shield plans. And so the situation of a lot of organizations over time have had to transition to HMO plans just because of cost, right? Or made co-insurance adjustments, those sort of things. This transition that the city is taking part in is going to allow for all those plans that are offered to active employees to be PPO plans, still provide cost savings for each of those plans, and provide a wide range of plans for employees to select from lower deductible plans all the way up to higher deductible plans to make sure that they have an offering that meets their needs.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Bridges?
What's your history? Any record or history in regards to this happening? We all know about economies of scale.
Yeah.
What's your history on
Yeah,
this?
it's a very special story. It started 20 years ago. There were 8 school districts in West Michigan. So while it says the West Michigan Health Insurance Pool, we affectionately call ourselves the pool now because the growth that has happened statewide. Those 8 entities, all individually on their own purchasing health insurance, were running into the same challenges that entities across the state are. And they said, what if we did it a little bit differently? And they actually worked with the state legislature to pass a law that only allows public entities in the state of Michigan to participate in this collaboration. So when they started that, they said, what's important to us? The North Star that you were just referencing, member focused, value, trust. Those are the 3 guiding pillars within the pool that have remained over those 20 years and have supported organizations who have come into it.
Yeah, the bottom line is that we can get a lower cost for our insurance cost, because that's clearly a variable cost that needs to be under control. But at the same time, we don't want to sacrifice quality either regarding the delivery of service that we currently offer our employees, make sure we are at the standard industry standards that we have accustomed here to do, but at the same time accomplish our objective, which is to be more efficient and lower the cost as well. So, so I appreciate the opportunity to support this, and we'll see what the results will be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Ms. Bogler?
Yes. This West Michigan Health Insurance Pool, that is a self-insured plan that's offered to currently, 17,000 members across the state? Where the majority of those members located? Are they in South, East Michigan, western part of the state, up north, the east side of the state? What's the spread?
It started in West Michigan, so the predominant members are in West Michigan, but now we're in every corner of the state. As of January 1st, there'll be over 250 public entities that are a part of the pool.
And the pool is currently, you said, will be currently offering PPO plans through Blue Cross and Blue Shield?
Correct.
Is that correct?
So the network and doctors all remain the same.
Same network of doctors. Now, I've heard that with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, that the PPO plans are at a point where they don't want to offer them in the future. Have you heard that information, that they want to abandon that market with the PPO?
Not explicitly that information. We do see a lot of transition in the health insurance market Just recently, there was an article out that showed some of the cost pressures and what's happening to Blue Cross Blue Shield and others. The benefit of us being a self-funded pool is being able to offer programs that by yourself you can't access, which really gets into better care and support of employees and the dependents that are on the plan. But we have not seen anything on the near-term horizon to where there's not going to be access to a PPO plan and Blue Cross's network as it sits today.
Okay, so you have not heard that?
Correct.
All right, okay, thank you.
That's kind of good.
Mr. Bridges?
Just want to follow, I read today that Cigna is abandoning or getting rid of the portion of the PBM, part of the drug benefit. You heard about that? PBMs, as you know, are a major player in drug cost increase, right? They establish formularies and they pay rebates back to manufacturers for drugs. That's the real culprit in regards to one aspect of healthcare cost. It's PBMs. They need to be regulated in Washington to reduce their influence on drug costs. Are you aware of that situation?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the unique things about the pool, we have a value committee that evaluates the PBM relationship. And right now it's direct with Blue Cross Blue Shield. So if you think about prescriptions that your employees have, there's not going to be disruptions if they have prior authorizations. Those things are going to be taken care of. But one of the things that we're constantly evaluating is if you have high cost of prescription drugs, it's going to drive up the cost of what your rates are for your health insurance plan. So how do we make sure we're being good stewards of the premium dollars within the pool, but also making sure we have access to a pharmacy partner that long-term meets the needs of the members of the pool? And that's driven by those trustees that was referenced and pointed out in the resolution. They sit on committees, they give feedback, we get employee engagement within that, and ultimately it's a member decision of all the members of the pool if there were to be any change in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Oh, Mr. Dwyer. Yeah, go ahead,
So-
Ms. Bullower.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go.
Ms. Bullower, go ahead.
I want to follow up with something that Councilman Dwyer mentioned about the unions, that if council decide tonight that we're going to proceed with this plan, then it's not subject to the collective bargaining agreement? Is that what I'm hearing?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
That it's not subject to the collective bargaining agreement. You know, these entities have already, for their health care, they've already collective bargained those agreements with the understanding that their health care would be A, B, or C. And now that there is a change or a possibility of a change, will those entities be allowed to weigh in on this change?
I mean, of course, they can always weigh in. The contract currently states that we will offer Blue Cross Blue Shield and HMOs, or I'm sorry, yes, and within PPOs and HMOs. However, it also says equivalent and in the contract. So as long as the program is equal or better than, and the pool is offering everything that we've seen is way better than what we're currently offering.
Is that what the lesser rate is for, and the employee contribution, is that
Yes.
lesser than what they're now paying?
And a better program, so because once again, everyone will be part of a PPO versus PPOs and HMOs.
All right.
Mr. Dwyer.
So can you identify the cities within Oakland County that are on this plan currently?
Yeah. So we have a number of municipal jurisdictions, I mean, over 100 across the state.
No, I'm just talking about Oakland County.
Yeah, Oakland Community College is a part of it. There aren't many, City of Davison is another one that's looking to come in as of 1/1/26. But this
I don't think Davidson is in Oakland County.
Yeah, I understand, sir.
It's a small town.
Yeah,
But why don't you talk about
Genesee.
yeah. So let's talk about a broader scale of just.
Well, I mean, okay, so that's it for Oakland County. I have one other question. Let's look at Macomb County.
Yeah,
What do you have in Macomb County?
we have a full membership list that I can provide.
How many cities?
The Southeast Michigan representation.
No, I'm just talking about Macomb County.
Yeah, I can't give you a specific number right here.
Less than 5?
Of cities, yes.
Okay, thank you.
So when is the last date that we have to make this decision?
So that's a really great question, and I don't want to be smart about it, but tonight, because we have to have open enrollment and everything lined up by, what's the date?
Well, actually starting next month, so
Next month.
early November.
Yeah. So our only fallback would be to go with what we have and ride the horse that we're on, which is Assured Partners, which would result in not real good, not as good a coverage and more expensive coverage.
Greater than 10% increases to the employees.
Yeah. You know, Mayor, this is a concern that I have, that we're bringing this approval for this public entity membership at the last moment. You know, I have not had a chance to really study it, review it, know what's in it, know what the track record is for the West Michigan Health Insurance Pool. I'm not aware of them, and so I don't know what their track record has been. And now we're before City Council here, trying to make a major decision without doing due diligence. There's some, like, for example, the only other public entity in Oakland County is OCC. And then Macomb County, you said less than 5. And then Genesee County or Livingston County, I don't know, we didn't ask those questions. But I feel that at this point, it would be hard for me to make a decision knowing so little about it. And I'm wondering why it's being brought before us tonight, because if you've been working on this for a while, I think council should have been apprised of what we're doing, what we're looking at, who the vendor, this entity is, why we're looking at them, and I think that council is being given a disservice for not coming to us earlier to say that this is coming down. Open enrollment starts with, when is open enrollment here? Start next month? Next month, November 1st. So, this early November. So I feel very uncomfortable about it.
Madam Mayor, if I may, and Councilmember Boulevard, I knew you were going to be, you were going to challenge me on this, so I appreciate that. I guess my response would be, every year, the approval of the insurance rates are all done administratively. Council never talks about what those insurance rates are, what the coverages are to our employees. This is purely an administrative operation from soup to nuts. In fact, I even had our clerk look back through all of the minutes to find out, did we ever bring a contract for, going way back to J.S. Clark was the original benefits consultant that the city worked with for years. We had nothing that ever came to city council. So this had always been and always will be or was squarely on the administrative side of the fence. The only reason we're here this morning or this evening, and I'm not even sure if the only reason we're here this morning or this evening is because the insurance pool wants the city council to approve us as the trustees and the backup trustee to represent the city in the pool. That's why. We're not trying to, this is a good story. This is not trying to pull wool over anybody's eyes.
So what you're saying, this is not something that would normally come to council for approval or whatever, but because we have to name the trustees, that is why it's coming before council. Thank you.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
So just to summarize, as I understand it, we have 170 other organizations that are in this pool. We the health coverage that's going to be provided to the employees is going to be at least lower cost than currently, with at least as good in terms of offerings, and it's going to save the city $1.8 million next year.
That's correct. And Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, we even have an HSA as well as part of one of the insurance packages, right? So even if our employees want to take advantage of that particular insurance package, because I like having an HSA, it helps me with my taxes, and I like saving that money. That option is available to our employees.
Yeah. Thank you.
I have a question. So you've never negotiated this before, and I understand that. You don't have to. But you've never really made a major change. This is a major change in healthcare that this city and probably 98% of the other cities in this state have ever seen. And healthcare, when you come to public safety, I'll just talk public safety, healthcare is a #1 issue with public safety, police and fire. And I can't vote on this, I'd never vote on this without comparing what are the losses going to be to police and fire with this new plan. And I know there's going to be losses. There's got to be losses. So there's going to be benefits lost by police and fire in Farmington Hills if this is approved tonight. So I'm not going to vote for approval. Thank you.
Okay, Val. Ms. Knoll.
Yeah, so the benefits administration in any organization, whether it's a corporation, a large corporation, small business, city government, Oakland Community College, a large college like that, it's a very complex affair. Benefits are extremely complicated. In all of those organizations, they rely on the expertise of their HR department, people who specialize in benefits. And for small businesses, because they often don't have that expertise, they actually contract that out. Many of them do. So that's why we've, as a council, never had these type of decisions come to us before, because most of us are not experts in benefits administration like Ms. Brown is. So I am relying on our experts here. You know, we set the policy, we rely on the city manager and his staff to actually direct and implement those type of decisions. I'm comfortable with everything that you've stated, that our employees will still have access to quality benefits, but with the advantages of pooling, we will now be able to get them for better rates. So to me, this seems like a very good plan. Hey, similar type benefit packages or the same Blue Cross Blue Shield still, but just better rates because of the pooling effects. So I am comfortable going forward with it. I trust Ms. Brown has been doing this for a long time. She knows how contract collective bargaining works and what our employees expect. And so I believe that she will do everything to ensure that the employees still have the same benefits that they have now, but a better cost, because we all know, not just us up here, but probably everyone in the audience knows the cost of healthcare keeps going up and up. And we have to control that cost for the employees who are helping pay for it, but also for our taxpayers.
Dr. Bruce.
Well, I'm going to support this. I think it's really a no-brainer. As a healthcare provider for 40 years and a business owner that provided healthcare benefits, and I was intimately involved in making sure we got the best benefits at the lowest cost. This seems, again, like I said, a no-brainer. We're saving the unions a lot of money. We're providing them more benefits. I'm not sure why they would be upset about this. And the last thing I'm going to do is undercut the experts, including our HR director and our city staff, whose job is to negotiate these things. And also, what we're only approving here is the fact that we're becoming the trustees, or the city administration is becoming the trustee. Otherwise, it wouldn't come before us. It would just be a done deal through administrative action like it always is every year. And it's not city council's job to get involved in the minutia of these negotiations with healthcare providers. We've never done it, and I can't ever see us doing that because that would be a total mess. So it makes perfect sense to do this. And again, anytime we can save our employees that much money, save the city money, and give them at least the same, but looks like even better benefits, more choices. HSA, for crying out loud. Do you know how valuable HSAs are? What you can do with them? They're amazing. Everybody should have one. So the fact that now we're giving the employees access to that, I can't imagine why we wouldn't support that. So thank you for what you've done. Appreciate, the work, and I think it's a good deal for everybody.
Okay.
I'll just make another comment based on Dr. Bruce's comments, that this is a better plan and the employees are going to love this plan. The employees are not going to. Based on my experience, they're not going to like the plan. It's not going to be a better plan, and it's going to cause a lot of problems for morale within the city and public safety, just to name two. So say what you want to say about this plan, but the way you're doing it, shame on you, because it was not the right way to go. Not the right way to go with the city council tonight, not providing more information before you came to the city council tonight, and then just looking at the few cities, very few cities in Oakland, Macomb County that are part of this plan. And I can't see other cities, major cities, like Farmington Hills or Novi or Warren, those type of cities, going with your plan without at least talking and comparing what the benefits are with your plan compared to the benefits that they currently have. And you haven't shared that with us. You haven't shared saying, we're giving them more benefits with our plan than they have currently, or we're equal with their plan. And I haven't heard anything about this plan is equal to what they already have. So I'm not voting for it.
I appreciate the expertise of our HR director and the work of the city manager to find a good plan for our employees and to save our taxpayers money. Those are important things. But as I look through your member list, I have great pause. And so for those reasons, I would have preferred to have some more conversation on that, as well as to have heard that there was engagement with the police and fire workforces. So for that reason, I am not going to be supporting this motion, well, when a motion is made. Mr. Bridges.
I'll make a motion. Can I make a motion now?
Please do.
All right, I move consideration of an approval, I move to adopt the resolution authorizing, the adoption of resolution authorizing public entity membership in the West Michigan Health Insurance Pool. That's my motion.
Support?
Okay, we have a motion and support. I'd like to take this as a roll call vote, please.
Council members Knoll,
Yes.
Aldred,
Yes.
Bolaware,
Before I vote, I'd like to say, my understanding is that this vote is for the naming of the trustees.
Yes, that's what it's for.
For this entity, that the setting of all the administrative stuff that goes in between HR and the city manager is not within the purview of council. So for that reason, I'm going to vote yes.
Council members Bridges,
Yes.
Bruce? Yes.
Dwyer,
No.
Mayor Rich.
No. Okay, carries.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next item.
Thank you.
Great job.
All right. Item 10, consideration of approval of amended planned unit development Plan 2, 2023 agreement, Hunters Square Shopping Center, including revised site plan 67-9-2023, CMR 10-25-153. Good evening again.
Good evening, Charmaine Kettler-Schmaltz, Planning Director. We have before you this evening the agreement for the amendment to the PUD and site plan for the Hunters Square Shopping Center. You all have seen this fairly recently with the approval of the plan and concurrent site plan. The document that is for you tonight is the agreement with the codification of all of those meetings, pulling everything together. If you would like, we do have additional information regarding what was included in that, but I feel like most of council is pretty familiar with the overall project. We also have the applicant's representative here this evening if there are additional questions. The document has been put together by our city attorney and reviewed by the applicant's attorneys and is in a format that is ready for council review.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Ms. Bolaware.
Tonight, we approve the public art, the two amendments on the public art, and the PUD that's in front of us was developed prior to the enactment.
Correct.
Of these two.
Yes.
So how do we reconcile that? Will there be a need, I guess, to our city attorney to make any changes in this document to take into account?
I don't believe
The only
they're
thing
in
that I
conflict.
see in here is, it's on page 9, which it says 9M. It says that there will be 4 iconic art structures, and that Hunters Square will work with the city's city manager's office and planning and community development.
I'm sure Steve has some comments on that. I don't believe that there is a conflict.
Well, no, no, I'm not saying it's a
No, no,
conflict. I just
I
want to be certain
understand.
that the Art Commission's role is clearly defined and stated in the document so that there's no misunderstanding about who's doing what.
And we're still standing them up to be able to fulfill that role. So with the ordinance and city code that went into, that will go into effect in 21 days from now, my office is working with the Arts Commission to put together all of their guidelines and their policies and procedures in order to move forward with that role in the community.
All right.
We're anticipating that the project for this location with the agreement and their site plan will probably move forward and be completed or at least underway prior to all of those documents being put in place. And I'm sure Steve has some additional comments on that as well.
Yes, the only thing I'd like to add is that it's very clear in the documentation that the public artwork is required, even though it preceded the date of the ordinance and the plan that's attached. It'll be attached to the agreement and recorded with the Oakland County Register of Deeds along with the text of this agreement. So it's all very clear that the public art will need to be installed. Although this doesn't specifically refer to the Arts Commission, there is certainly nothing preventing, in light of the ordinance that's gone in place subsequent to the plan being adopted, there's nothing, see, that wasn't in the ordinance when this was, the plan was approved. So although the Arts Commission isn't specifically referenced in here, it doesn't mean the city manager's office and the Planning and Community Development Department cannot bring it to the Arts Commission to assist with identifying the proper artwork or going through the artwork that's proposed. I see the applicant is here and shaking their head yes as well, that maybe they could represent that they are willing to go to the Art Commission with the art, and that would probably be helpful.
John Friel, Director of Design with Symmetry Management.
Travis Locana, VP of Development.
So this shopping center has been years in the making, as all of you know. I was just looking at your agenda. This is actually the 8th public hearing of this proposal in some form or another over the last 2 years. And it relatively hasn't changed in 2 years. So earlier action tonight with your ordinance amendments and then your strategic plan, this plan was already developed with those pieces in place. So this plan, if you will, could be your keystone to pointing at those 4 pieces that you took action on earlier today. We have public art spaces designed specifically in a shopping center environment to promote pedestrian traffic in a shopping center environment. Let's slow down the cars. Let's bring pedestrians in. So wherever you park in this shopping center moving forward, you can freely move through this thing and be safe about it. And that specifically talks to what you were doing in your strategic plan. So this shopping center, a little history, when those roundabouts went in, that shopping center was the bypass to Orchard Lake Road. This shopping center knows what high traffic volumes can do to a shopping center, and that's why we're here to redevelop it. We need to bring a pedestrian environment back into this shopping center and revitalize it.
Madam Mayor?
Yes,
Can I ask a question of the?
please.
So is there any, the zoning ordinance requires the artwork to go to the Arts Commission. Do you have any issue with that? Will that happen?
No, we've, like you say, in the plan is provided space, and we're willing to work with whatever committee you guys need to get that piece of art placed.
Great.
Do we need to add that to our motion if we approve it?
No, I don't believe so. It's already implicit, I believe, in my opinion, in the language when read in conjunction with your zoning ordinance, which now has that requirement. I just wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page as Council Member Bolaware pointed out, just so that the record is clear and we're all on the same page. I think that's everybody's goal.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Anyone want to make a motion?
Yeah, can we just use this motion, number 10, or does it have to be something else, Steve? Can I go ahead with that one?
Can that be the motion?
You can simply approve Hunter Square, the Hunter Square PUD contract and authorize city manager to sign.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the amended Plan Unit Development 2, 2023 agreement, Hunter's Square Shopping Center, including the revised site plan 67-9-2023, and authorize the city manager to sign, and that would be CMR 10-25-153.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there support?
Support.
We have a motion and support. Any further discussion? This is a regular vote. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Carries. Thank you.
Ooh, hopefully this is
All
the
right,
last time it's
yeah.
on the agenda.
How many times? 8 times? Shit.
Oh, my gosh.
Good luck. Go forth and
Oh,
build.
my gosh.
Go for it, my man.
If I could, just for a moment. So I want to thank the city staff, council, planning commission. Our demo permit was approved last week. We already have crews on site. And our building plans for all the new buildings are going to be in your office this week.
All right.
Excellent.
Yes.
Terrific. Thank you. Good luck. Good luck. Much success.
Whew. Wow. Need a breath here. Item 11, consideration of approval of stipulated amendment to consent judgment 29655 West 14 Mile Road, CMR 10-25-154. Hello again.
Hello again. I'm going to skip the introduction. I think you know who I
Yeah,
am
you
by
know you
now.
are.
So we have before you this evening a stipulation to an existing consent judgment for a property, specifically the historically designated portion of the property called Ward Eagle on 14 Mile, a little bit west of Middle Belt. We've got a couple of images here for you. The request is to expand the permitted use within that space to include a hair salon for a request that has been received. I would note that in our most recent updated master plan version, the zoning designation that this location has was targeted for an update to include additional uses, including personal service, which hair salon is one of. In addition to the change of use, or I'm sorry, the additional use for this location, we also have put into the agreement the allowance for the property to have deficient one parking space per the existing regulations for parking. There's not known to be any issues with available parking on the property. We don't anticipate that that would change with the new use if it was allowed by the council.
Okay. Thank you. Council,
A motion?
please.
Steve.
Wait.
If I may, just for council's information, the future new business that's going to locate in this, are present. They've been here the whole meeting with their attorney. I'm not sure if the owners are also here or what, but yes. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure council knew they are here, are very excited. We've enjoyed working with them on this matter.
Excellent.
And if you have any questions, of course, you can.
Thank you, Steve.
Looks great.
Okay, now a motion?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I make a motion to approve the approval of the stipulated amendment to the consent judgment number 75, 29655 West 14 Mile Road.
There's motion and we have support. Any further discussion? Folks who are watching this on the YouTube, I wish you could see the smiles on the faces of this business owner. This is amazing. All right, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Carries. All the best to you.
Congrats and good luck.
Invite us to your ribbon cutting. All righty. Whew, that was fun. Okay, that then takes us to item 12, and we have people who have waited here this whole meeting as well. Consideration of approval of appointments to various boards and commissions. Who'd like to do some reading?
It's up to you, okay.
yeah,
Wanna do it,
just-
Jackie or Val?
just got to pull it up here.
Okay.
Anyone else gets it
Right here,
up, they
Jackie.
can
Here,
go.
here. Here they are.
And while you're pulling it up, I'd just like to note that Mr. Banks, who is being proposed to go from being an alternate on the Zoning Board of Appeals to a full member, is here, as well as Mr. Baker, who was here with his son, the Eagle Scout.
Baker, okay.
Great. Okay, I will make a motion to appoint Monty Coley on the Commission on Children, Youth, and Family for a length of term of 3 years, term ending February 1, 2029. I'll make and included in that motion would be the appointment of Lawrence Baker to the Innovation, Energy, and Environmental Sustainability Commission for a length of 3 years, term ending February 1, 2029. Also on that same committee, Srinivasa Rao Biki for a term of 3 years, term ending February 1, 2029. And then also in this motion is the appointment of Lloyd Banks on the Zoning Board of Appeals for 3 years, term ending February 1, 2029, as well as Joanne Rowland for also a length of 3 years, term ending February 1, 2029.
We have a motion, is there support? All right, we have a motion, we have support. This is a regular vote. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Fantastic. Thank you for
Congrats.
being here. Congrats, appreciate your service to our city. This then takes us to public comment. We have 3 people who've put in cards. Mr. Schmidt, to be followed by Ms. Hanson, to be followed by Ms. Smith.
Good evening. I appreciate the time today. Eric Schmidt, 30146 of Woodbrook Court. After the city council meeting where members from Moby and the Chaldean community spoke, I sent an email requesting a statement be made regarding those comments derogatory towards the members of city council. And after further reflection, they weren't just pointed at city council, they were pointed at the residents as well, calling us NIMBYs, not in my backyard. I found that to be very offensive. I did not think that it was necessary to drag us through the mud when we are fighting for something that we truly believe in. We have been upfront. We've come to many city council meetings. We have met with developers. We have been witness to a lot of different things that have caused us concern, and then being dragged and casted in a light that I think was unnecessarily and inaccurately negative. We aren't asking for nothing. We are asking for the rules not to be changed for something that does not seem necessary for this area. And I implore City Council to please issue some sort of statement admonishing those comments, not just the member that were directed at the members of City Council, but more specifically to the residents that are simply fighting for part of the process. Additionally, I think it's highly inappropriate, the situations that I personally have witnessed. I have seen and heard comments from the mayor that I felt were derogatory. I overheard a conversation between her and some guests at Brunch Factory the week before that city council meeting, and it clearly referenced putting partisan politics above processes here. There was a specific comment that said, don't share information with Michael. There were other specific comments that made it seem like members of that table were privy to information that the rest of the city had not been necessarily privy to. Driving by on my way here, I went out of my way to drive by the PUD proposed area. It's littered with Mayor Rich signs. Something about this seems fishy. I feel like there is something going on here that needs to be further investigated and looked at. If there is another vote on this, which it is planned, if I'm not mistaken, for January, I would hope that if Mayor Rich is still here, that she recuse herself, because there's obviously some sort of situation happening here. I know that the clock started a little late, So I'll wrap it up here a little quickly, but just to state, I have very much valued being a part of this process, being able to come and speak my mind, being able to meet with all of the city council members, being able to attend different events where people have spoken. Again, thank you to everybody that did show up to our house. Thank you again to everybody that has been a part of this and wanted to have conversations with us. I hope and truly just, I don't pray, but I'm gonna pray that this process continues to be transparent, that this process continues to be fair. And one last note, very, very briefly, it has been said that business owners think it might be hard to do business here in Farmington Hills. And to that I say, good. It should be. It should be difficult. There should be barriers in place to ensure that Farmington Hills stays the way that it is and continues to be a shining light and continues to be a top-rated place to live. Maybe it's a top-rated place to live because it is a little difficult for businesses to come in here and just stomp all around and do whatever they want. I continue to implore the City Council to do the good, hard work that they've done, and I truly hope for continued transparency throughout this entire process. I greatly appreciate the time today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Hanson.
Good evening, Mayor Rich and City Council members. Tonight is the last time that I can address this council regarding the Costic Center. I can only hope a new council will be more proactive in making a decision regarding the Costic Center. You are the second council that has ignored the concerns of your seniors regarding the center to finalize a location for a new building. Just like the council before you, it was going to be their priority to make a decision on a new location for a new building. Just like the last council, you have now kicked it down the road without a commitment. You have hired the same consultant firm for the second time to give you guidance. They have not come up with any new ideas that the community has been made aware of. We did hear that an engineering firm was hired to do a feasibility study to add a new section on the 3rd floor at the Hawk on the west side of the building. If this is actually true, why would you add a new building with limited property to a 50-plus-year-old building? You will end up with the Hawk being run down and not worth fixing with a new building attached. How fiscally responsible is that? There are a number of adjectives that we can use to describe this council: exhausting, disappointing, frustrated, undecisive, irritating, and I'm sure there are more. And one last item, public comments. Hope the new council will move public comments back to the beginning of the meeting. If you value the public's opinion, moving it forward will show them much more respect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Smith?
Good evening. I first would like to clear up a comment that was made earlier regarding we don't know what students are being fed when they leave. I want to clear that correction up. On Fridays, the students of Farmington Public Schools do receive a backpack, those that are identified as financially unhealthy or need food assistance. So there is something being given to those students. So it's not that, oh, well, they get a free breakfast or a free lunch. They do receive something on Friday, so let's clear that up. There is something that goes home to the students in Farmington Public Schools. So if you're not educated on that, I'd ask you to reach out and find out those facts. I'd also like to thank Councilmember Bruce, Councilmember Bridges, and Councilmember Bolaware, and the others that have made the comments that we do need to get involved and help our community. I received a text message today, and that text message showed me that CARES does not have all of the things, the essentials for our people in this community. There were like 2 or 3 rolls of toilet paper. In the past, I have fed 21 families for 2.5 months in the city of Farmington Hills, and those are our students. I've had that help with Mr. Bridges, when we needed non-perishable items. This Saturday and Sunday, I'd like us as elected officials, not as candidates, coming out taking pictures, to get together and meet me at Shiawassee Park and bring whatever needs that are needed to take over. Don't come with your T-shirts on, don't come with your crew taking pictures. This is not a political contribution. We should not be doing an uplift for ourselves when these people are having their downfall. So if you are coming with good hearts and good intentions, please come out, meet me. I'll be there at 12 noon until I can get whatever and take over the cares. But if you come in to campaign, I ask you nicely not to show. Thank you.
Thank you. All righty, we do not have a city attorney report today, and therefore we have no further business before this council. We stand adjourned. We'll see you November 10th.